SmackDown Hot Takes, where I take your thoughts, your opinions, your hot takes from the previous episode of SmackDown, Raw, and or PLEs. And if they bring back Velocity, well, I'll do hot takes for Velocity too. We got Pyre's Doc says, Cody saying that Heyman line, it's not a prediction, it's a spoiler, to Randy Orton was just him feeding the section of the fan base that he knows wants him to turn heel. He's never gonna turn heel. Yeah, so last night, Cody Rhodes said the line. He said it, the thing that Paul Heyman says. It's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. And so we're all like, oh my God, is it happening? Is it happening? Is Cody going to the dark side? And, oh, I want to believe. Evil Cody is so good. I've always loved Evil Cody when he was like disfigured or when he was Stardust. I don't think he was evil when he was Stardust. I'm not sure. Whatever Stardust was, I actually enjoyed that even. but when he went on the indies and hooked up with the Young Bucks and the Elite and he was in Ring of Honor and all these things, he was so evil, so amazing, so awesome that it's insane. I highly recommend you checking out Cody Rhodes' independent run. Now, you feel free to check out his AEW stuff, but he was a babyface at AEW. I'm saying check out the stuff he did in Ring of Honor, New Japan, and everything. You can find all that stuff online. But regardless, he was so good as a heel. And I have been dying, salivating for that Cody Rhodes. But I kind of feel like they're not going to do it. Then what was that line last night? What was the line about? It's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. I think it was just a tease. Triple H loves to throw in our face the things that we want just so he cannot give it to us. He's like that horrible dog owner that will eat this nice, juicy, bone-in steak ribeye, and then the dog is at his feet, right? Like just, it's a loyal dog, just happy and in love with its master and just waiting, hoping that he would throw that bone to him. He says to the dog, do you want this bone? Do you want this bone? And then he's like, too bad, and throws it in the trash. And the dog is like, But that's us. We're the dog in this situation. Remember when Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu went nose to nose and we were like, oh, I can't wait for this match. We never got that match. Remember when Damian Priest said to Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, I'm coming for you guys because I'm tired of seeing the same people in the main event scene? Yeah, Damian Priest hasn't done any of that. I remember that. Pepper Farms remembers that as well. And it's like, they're just teasing us. Oh, you want Cody Rhodes to turn heel? Let's have him say something that is so blatantly obvious that there's only one conclusion, and that is Cody Rhodes is talking to Paul Heyman, and yet let's do nothing with it. And then in 3 years, when it's too late, then they might actually flip Cody Rhodes, and then they're going to be like, see, we've been setting this up for 3 years. They try to say that they've been doing some long-term planning. Like, no, you just got lucky. You didn't plan Chad Gable and Penta. You just got lucky. And you took advantage of a situation so you didn't have to write a story. But yeah, so I wish Cody would turn heel. He would be so much better. But he's not gonna. And don't get me started on Cody Rhodes saying that he's not a good guy. He's still a good guy. It's like Sami Zayn. I'm the last good guy. No, you're not. You're a heel. Just like Cody Rhodes. I'm not a good guy, everybody. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Cody Rhodes is doing that thing that Hulk Hogan did back in the day before he turned heel. And he shaved off his mustache and was like, I'm now Dark Side Hulk Hogan. And so, like, this is Dark Side Cody Rhodes, where he's actually still just a babyface. Like, he literally says, I won't take this anymore because I'm no longer a good guy, as he takes it. He told Sami Zayn last week, the old me would just let you talk, but the new me says, let's go and have a match. I mean, that's what the old you did too. The guy would talk and then you would say, let's go have a match. Unfortunately, he's not going to turn heel, but he'll still get a title reign. And if you want a title reign, you can. You see, this belt on my shoulder, I'm giving it away. At 30,000 subscribers on my quest to quit my day job, I'm going to give away a belt. All you got to do to win is comment below and subscribe to the channel. And this belt can be yours. It's not a toy, people. It's a replica. All right, free shipping anywhere in the world. Najib says, good on Sami for being a good heel that we can hate. But man, I was hoping KO would have walked out as WWE champion. Exactly. I wish KO would have won, but I love that Sami Zayn did something to just get heat and get people to hate on him, because he was like, Sami Zayn is such a good heel, it's really hard to hate the guy, so he had to pretty much screw Kevin Owens, who everybody's in love with at the moment, and help CM Punk, who people are starting to kind of see through that facade, and yeah, it was like great stuff. I hope more people hate Sami Zayn, because that's when Sami is at his best. But Errol Noir says, I agree with Sami's actions. KO is a career backstabber who's betrayed his friends for less, yet he won't lay out the self-proclaimed biggest enemy, his self-proclaimed biggest enemy. Nah, he deserved to lose. That is actually a point that I wish I would have brought up yesterday, so I'm glad you agree with Sami Zayn, but like, Sami was in the wrong. No matter what, Sami was in the wrong, but I'm glad he still like did it on some level. But I will say this, it does not make sense that after 20 years of hating CM Punk, that when given an opportunity from his best friend Sami Zayn to hit CM Punk with a title belt, that KO said, no, I want to be a good guy now. Just rate of John Cena, Cody Rhodes, WrestleMania 41, why would he hit him? KO said he regretted 20 years not punching CM Punk in the face for calling him fat in front of a bunch of people, or alluding to the fact that he was fat. And then on the Go Home show last week, he literally calls him a fatso. Kevin Owens should be livid at CM Punk, grab the belt and hit him with it. Now, if you didn't want Kevin Owens to lose, then write it different. But it does not make sense with Kevin Owens' past character and the current heat of reliving 20 years worth of hate. It doesn't make sense that he would not accept the belt from his best friend and hit CM Punk. I hope Kevin Owens addresses it. And it might be easy. He could just say, oh yeah, my kids were in the audience and I needed to show them how to be a man, or something like that, you know. But at the end of the day, he should have either hit him with the belt or not have been given the opportunity. TTJC says they should have kept Ilya instead of bringing back Corbin, and that's coming from a Corbin fan. I'm going to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of former WWE wrestlers coming back, because WWE can just lowball them. They can lowball them, and we're probably going to get a bunch of current wrestlers just kind of leaving, letting their contracts expire, because I'm pretty confident they probably tried to cut Ilya Dragunov's pay in half. And if you want to hear more of my thoughts on the Ilya Dragunov situation, I actually have a Patreon channel where I did a Patreon exclusive there. So if you want to support the channel for $5 a month, you can join the Discord and everything too, and you'll get exclusive videos. I am going to start devoting more time to my Patreon. I would greatly appreciate it. It would help me get that. It would help me get to that dream of quitting the day job if you can afford $5 a month. Kid Wilkes says, Baron Corbin says the U.S. title is getting a haircut and Trick Williams is not going off on him. Let alone, let's build heat and show the fur getting shaved. Come on, man. You're absolutely right. I think I might have even mentioned this a couple weeks ago. We should have had Baron Corbin just shaving it. Or go all out. Have Baron Corbin having vignettes of the belt getting shaved and a haircut at a barber shop or something. Like, we should have made a big deal of this. WrestleDon says, could you imagine The Rock in 1999 allowing a celebrity to be his permanent valet / manager and to consistently rely on his help in matches to tell stories? Yeah, that is insane to me, that Trick Williams right now is so heavily reliant on Little Yachty. Now, going into WrestleMania, Little Yachty was a perfect celebrity. It was like he was 10% of the act, while Trick was 90%. But now we got Little Yachty saying that he's the greatest man to ever breathe air, or something like that. He has his own music entrance, even though last night he didn't have an entrance, but I've seen him have an entrance before. It's just, now he's like 50% of the act. And Trick Williams should not be ever 50% of the act. He's the whole effing show. I'll go one step further. Not The Rock in 1999, but let's say The Rock in 1998. 1997, when The Rock was just learning how to be a heel and or a babyface, how to connect with the crowd, how to play the crowd like a fiddle. What's a fiddle? The violin. Play the crowd like a violin, all right? Fiddle. We'll just do fiddle. But yeah, so Little Yachty right now is actually hurting Trick Williams because he is falling flat as a babyface, and that's because he's a two-man act right now. He needs to be on his own so he can learn the do's and don'ts of how to control a crowd. So I firmly believe that while Little Yachty has the best of intentions, and the guy was a true fan, I believe his involvement with Trick Williams has long come to an end. He needs to leave Trick, if not, so Trick can prosper. I'm not even a Little Yachty hater. Like, give him to Ricky Saints, Carmelo Hayes. Maybe not Carmelo Hayes. Give him to Ricky Saints. Give him to somebody else. He can stay employed, but not with Trick Williams. As Meir says, it's not a coincidence that CM Punk matches are crazy good. Dude is just on another level, putting matches together and storytelling. CM Punk, that is. So I know a lot of people hate CM Punk. I know, like, on the internet, it's getting cooler and cooler nowadays to hate CM Punk. And I do feel that CM Punk can be a giant hypocrite at times. But there is no denying the guy has talent, and his matches have a great psychology to them. Comet of Doom says, I just got back from the show tonight. I hope they didn't turn the crowd volume down because the reaction for Punk was intense. Felt like the old days when Toronto used to be the bizarro world of wrestling. So it was an electric crowd. We could see it, but from all accounts, I heard it was even more so. But I felt it. I could see it. But yeah, I think you guys did a great job. Jimbo Slice says, Corbin getting 5 minutes with Little Yachty is a perfect use of celebrity. He isn't being treated like a physical equal like Jelly Roll or McAfee. As a celebrity, his only job is to survive. That's a great point. That is a great point. I do feel that Little Yachty has run his course, but at the same time, I do actually am a little intrigued by this match. It'll be a nice little palate cleanser, a 5-minute match, and then immediately after we could have Trick versus Baron Corbin. So, like, I wish Little Yachty was not a thing right now and he was gone, but since he's here, I don't mind this match as long as he's not treated like a physical equal like Jimbo Slice said. He should not be OP like Jelly Roll or Pat McAfee. And for the record, those guys shouldn't have been OP either. That kid Joe's Fat says Punk came out like Jason in Manhattan. Yeah, I'm assuming that hockey mask had something to do with Toronto hockey or wherever they were hockey, because Canada, hockey. Johan Ahawa says, so that's Tatum's character, annoying TikTok goth chick. Honestly, I don't follow TikTok goth chick, so I'll have to take your word for it. Welcome to the House of Spike says, I'm done with this company. Just everything is so lifeless. There's nothing to love anymore. I've stuck around for 12 years, but I finally reached my breaking point. Man, if you could survive 2018, 19, and now it's time to call it quits, what was? I would be very interested to know what was the actual thing that happened tonight that made you say, yeah, I'm done. It's OTW says, yo, WTF, is that Takahashi? Too bad under Hunter gonna fumble him and have him released in 2 years. Oh, man, yeah. But to be fair, if he had been under Vince McMahon, then he probably would have been fumbled as well, because, I mean, Vince is the one who fumbled Shinsuke Nakamura. So fingers crossed that we don't have a repeat there. Ron Talks Tabletop says, what are they doing with Julia? I'm not the biggest fan of her, but it's ridiculous how poorly they're treating her on the main roster. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks to be a Julia fan. It definitely sucks to be a Julia fan. And I don't blame you for not being a big fan of hers, because how could you be? They've done really nothing with her. Even her big wins as U.S. champion have really went nowhere. So, like, why would you be a Julia fan? And I know she's done great things elsewhere, but WWE, like, they don't allow her to showcase that. It's a shame too, because she is amazing. Alterfer says, more than obvious why the Tungans got the titles. Haku is going in the Hall of Fame next year. I mean, I'm okay with that. Haku, I would say, deserves it. Haku Ming, legendary. Legendary, if not the fact that I have heard countless stories about how this guy is the real deal. Like, everybody is afraid of Haku/Ming. Ghostly Rez Grizz says, the show wasn't very entertaining until the main event. Then Punk winning ruined that. I mean, okay, it's like your guy lost. And I'm, like, sympathetic to that, but, you know, there's a bunch of CM Punk fans that him winning, it was the best thing ever. So it's just like, that part is subjective. Dylard says Blake Monroe is going to become irrelevant before she gets started. That's what they don't realize. Think about how much hype the Wyatts had. Didn't matter. By the time they did anything, nobody cared. You actually got a point there. So again, if you were a Julia fan, I would be livid how she was treated last night. But let's just focus on Blake Monroe right now. Maybe you even like the fact that Blake is holding out for a championship match, because it is kind of, it's unique at least. It's something different that she is like, no, I get a debut match against a champion or nothing else. So I like that. However, we are totally dragging our feet on Blake Monroe. If we had nothing for her, she should just be NXT champion right now. But no, we're doing vignettes and then we take her off TV. She attacked Julia 2 months ago, and now we get to a TV match that doesn't even happen. That is way too much time in between her doing something and the consequences or actions that are the follow-up. Way too much time. You're right. The Wyatts had all the hype in the world, but if you don't do something big with it, well, that momentum, it just goes away. It just goes away. And you're right. They are at risk of all of Blake Monroe's momentum. They're at risk of just squandering it. All right, boys. All right, girls. Those are your hot takes for Monday Night Raw. SmackDown, SmackDown, SmackDown. See ya, bye.